Just like that, we are through to the Europa League Conference group stages. Matt, if you are joining us, welcome back to the West Ham Network. This is your match day review. Viborg 0, West Ham 3. West Ham beating Viborg over the two-legged playoffs 6-1. I'm joined by Matt. Matt, you've been doing a match day live, of course, with DJ Russie B. What's been your thoughts on the performance?
It had a very pre-season-y feel out of it, but then we did get to try different things and stuff, so that's kind of what you'd use a pre-season game for.
Yeah.
It's no disrespect to Viborg, because I thought for their standard they played particularly well.
Yeah.
I think maybe just at the end of it, our Premier League quality showed in the times that mattered compared to them. But look, as I said, they actually played some decent football at times, especially over the course of the two legs.
Yeah.
You know, there was times in the first league that they were playing us off the park. So I think we adjusted, and Moyes tactically did adjust for this game. They didn't have it as much their own way. It's quite an even game at times.
Yeah.
People got chances to play. People got debuts. So for me, you can always nitpick any performance. You could say, no, we should have had not Man City style 75% possession the whole game. They shouldn't have had any shots. You know, if you want to nitpick, but on the whole, for what we needed, it's been a good outing.
Yeah. Yeah, you can say that again, mate. I mean, we can get straight onto it with like the starting lineups. I mean, when you look at West Ham's starting lineup here, Areola in goal, Johnson, Kehrer, Ogbonna coming back into the side again, Creswell captain in the side, Souček, Lanzini, Benrahma, Fornals, Cornet, and Scamacca. You know, it's strong. It's a strong team he's put out today, and it shows that he's going to try some different things and new things.
And yet, that was 6 changes from the weekend.
Yeah.
So it shows you that as much as a very large part of Twitter will sit here and moan when we're not signing a player every single day of the window, you know, we probably should have signed 100 players by now and done a Forest or something. But we have removed players from the team and the squad that were literally like we sat there last year, didn't we? That there was only like 15 real players. I think if you go back to last season, I think 9 players started 40 or more games. Antonio played 48 games last year. Whereas, like you said, we've made 9 subs, not 6 changes, and it still looks like that team could actually start. Like it won't, because Moyes wouldn't do that. But that team could start on Sunday.
Yeah.
Quite comfortably. And you I certainly wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't look at that and think, oh, bloody hell, Moyes is like trying to stay for the cup and he's thrown the game and just put all the awful players out.
Yeah.
You know, Kehrer needs the time to blend into the team. Ogbonna needs match fitness. He tried a different thing in the midfield where he played a 3 rather than a 2. It looked like quite often we started as it was like a 4-3-3, 4-3-1-2 at times. The front 3 were fluid between like a 2-1 and a 3, but it was more a midfield 3, like a flat 3, rather than the 2 and the 1. So it allowed Moyes to tinker the formation. And again, like Cornet got more minutes, Scamacca got more minutes and fitness, which was needed because he had a
goal. I mean, I think one of the biggest things. Yeah, I think when we talk about players like when we talk about centre forwards, Scamacca, Cornet, your new boys coming in. What you want from it, what the output is, that of course you get the result, that's what you want, and then on top of that you're looking for consistency in performances. You want players to be scoring goals who need to be scoring goals. You know, you take a clean sheet from tonight, that's a positive as well. And Benrahma getting on the score sheet as well, which is a extremely good positive thing for us, because he's had a decent start to the season in terms of players' outputs, not team performances. He's been kind of one of our livelier players, so it's good to see him. I mean, yeah, I get it. People will say, well, lads, remember it's the playoff round of the Europa Conference League. Well, I get that. However, you still need to do the job, and you still need to turn up and do it. And remember the slagging off West Ham took when Ashton Gugu put West Ham out.
Let's not forget. I mean, surely that I doubt anyone in our audience isn't old enough to remember Ashigogu.
Yeah.
2 years on the bounce. So the fact, and what should I say? Oxford in the cup, couple of years running, was it under Pellegrini?
Yeah.
Like these are the games we generally seem to struggle with. We don't get up for it, and we weren't dominant. But like you said, look, Scamacca started 2 games in a row in the Europe and scored 2 goals. Cornet's had 2 assists in 2 games. Ben Ramos scored two games in a row. Like, did Ramos score last week as well?
Yeah.
In the cup game, in the European. So people are getting goals and assists, which hopefully will then bleed into the league ball.
Which need to, yeah. Which they absolutely need to. I mean, I've got some of the stats from today's game. So you've got West Ham with 55% possession to Viborg's 45% possession. 14 shots for Viborg to West Ham's 12. They only had 3 on target to West Ham's 5. We had 7 off target with 9 shots off target for Viborg. We created 5 big chances to their 2 big chances as well. We were 86% with our accurate passing, 62% with our accurate long balls, and 38% with our crosses in, which was not great either. Now I've got Gianluca Scamacca's individual stats for you. He played 68 minutes. He got a goal. He had 2 shots on target. He had 1 shot off target. He was successful with 50% of his dribbles. He had 28 touches. He had 69% accurate passes. He had 2 crosses, but he failed in both of them. But he was successful with 2 out of 3 long balls. He won half of his ground duels. He won all of his aerial duels. And he lost possession 11 times in that game. Now, for me, that's an all-round performance, really, from your striker. But let's just talk about his goal, Matt. Let's talk about his goal in particular. And we dissected it in the Matchday Live. But what a good goal. What a good striker's goal, wasn't it?
It's something that, Antonio did a phenomenal job for 2 years, leading that line on his own. But he's not a centre forward. And I've said this before, and we say this, and we're like, well, no, he is. That's where Moyes plays him. He's a guy that Moyes has sort of moulded into a centre forward, in an essence that he will run the wings, he will harry defenders, he will hold up the ball. He doesn't have someone you used to love, like Chicharito. He doesn't have that natural instinct to score a goal. Yeah. And you saw with the goal today from Scamacca, last week's goal was he pulled off to the back post to nod the header in. Yeah. Today, instead, he's made the run across the defender, which Antonio would. If that was Antonio, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, he would have stood where he was in the middle of the 6-yard box between the 2 defenders, thinking, you know what? I'm in the middle of the goal. I'm in front of the 2 defenders. I'm going to rely on the ball beating them, and then I've got a shot on goal. Whereas Scamacca's gone, you know what? Look, they're not paying attention. The best place to attack this ball is in front of that defender near post. So he arcs his run around the front of him and clips it on the half volley over the keeper's head into the roof of the net. Yeah, and it's that natural instinct that you can't teach it. You can't. It's just a goal scorer's natural. It's something you can't. I think you got to look at we had Sheringham. He come in at 36, 37, 38 when he came in. Yeah, and he was still doing that. He done it for us in the Premier League. He's like the oldest Premier League scorer ever, and he never had pace, but he knew where the ball would go and where he needed to be to score. Yeah. And it's something you can't teach centre forward. Scamacca has it. He's shown it in just 2 goals in 2 European games.
I just want to say something. I know there's people in the chat saying that Sky Sports are reporting the deal for Paqueta's off. That's not what's being said. I'm just looking at it now. So they're saying that I'm reading into it just now. And Fabrizio Romano himself has actually put out saying that there's no full agreement in place yet. And the talks are still taking place between the 2 clubs. So I think because the deal was starting to move a little bit faster, we were probably anticipating that things would have moved faster, but there's obviously a little bit of a difference between the thing. But I don't want to talk about, Matt, let's not talk about that now because we've done Paqueta. Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the importance of West Ham getting through to the Europa Conference League group stages. What does that do for the mentality of West Ham?
But it's important, first of all, because look, I said this at the back end of last season, and I know a lot of people are like, I don't want to be in that competition, because we had our first proper course of European football in like 15, 16 years. And that made us European snobs like, no, we have to be in Europa League. Yes, ideally we'd like to be in it, but Europa Conference is an achievable trophy to win. Look at the last 4 last season. It was Marseille, Leicester, Roma and Feyenoord.
Yeah.
Something like that was the last 4. And Roma beat Feyenoord in the final. Like it's an achievable trophy. And you know what? I would take anything for it. I don't care if it's third-rate European trophy.
Yeah.
Like I don't. It's a European trophy. It's a trophy, period. When was the last time we saw us? I've never seen us win an actual trophy, actual tournament.
Yeah.
Forget playoff finals. I've never seen us win anything.
Yeah.
So for me, it's massive. For the club, like I said, if this deal was to stay on, one of the things was he wanted to play European football. So you have that dangle. You're now going into the last week of the window saying, look, we do have European football, so you will get the game time. I can still rotate. You know, I haven't got to have half my squad play 40 games each. I can have everyone play 30 games each, which is plenty enough football over a season for anyone. You know, you might want to play all 38 games, but if you've got Carabao Cup, FA Cup, Europa Conference League, everyone gets game time. So when you've got a bigger squad of first team players, when we've now got a team where it's like, no, it's not 15 first team players, it's now 18, 19 first team players. Everyone knows whether you're the cup or the first team, you're going to get the playing time. And if you play well in the cup, and we showed last year, you'll get into the first team if mistakes happen. So it keeps everyone happy, which is a big thing for team morale. So it's in a lot of ways, people probably won't think about it. It's a very big thing. It's why we needed to get it done.
Yeah. Let's talk about then some individual performances. You know, defensively, we didn't concede a goal, but players we're looking at really are Ogbonna and Thilo Kehrer. Now, Ogbonna started the game again. I thought he had a good game. Again, I'm trying to be reasonably respectful of the opposition. He played the full game. He made 6 clearances. He had 1 interception. He made 2 tackles. He won 50% of his ground duels. He didn't win any of his aerial duels. He lost possession 6 times. He had 74 touches and he made 91% of those accurate passes that he made in that whole game. And he had 1 successful long ball. However, he did look all right in the defence, you know, and that's a positive sign for West Ham moving forward, yeah?
I said, I don't think he's going to play as much this year, Ogbonna, as his last year, but he's going to have a job to do. Like, we've seen it over previous years. Like, we rarely go, you know, a lot of teams rarely go the whole season without some sort of injury. And a lot of teams may have like a mini injury crisis where they might lose a couple of key players in the same position.
Yeah.
So, is Ogbonna going to start at the moment? No, it'd probably be Zuma and Kehrer. But at the moment, he's probably the first rotation option. You know, with Aguirre probably not featuring for us until after Christmas. You know, it's him and Dawson. A, probably going to be the backup options, and B, they may even be the European options, the cup options. It allows Moyes to not let us get absolutely fatigued before Christmas by going, I don't have to play everyone every game twice a week for the whole season. So he may have a big input for, and also, you know, off the pitch, he may have a big important role this season. With Italian players coming in, he may have a big, you know, almost like Noblesque role to help Scamacca and to some of an extent Emerson Settle. So,
let me take a look at his other centre half counterpart though, and that's Thilo Kehrer. Today, this is his kind of stats for the game in general. He played 90 minutes. He had 4 clearances in the game. He made 3 tackles and 1 interception. He won 3 of his 4 ground duels and 3 of his aerial duels. Now, what I'll say, Matt, is this guy can jump. This guy can absolutely. He kind of like, you know, he's not the tallest of centre halves, but he can climb up in the air, no problem at all. And that's something that's seen in his stats here. You know, he won 3 out of his 4 aerial duels won. He only lost possession 5 times. He had 67 touches, and he was 95% accurate passes. He had 3 accurate long balls from 4 attempts. He also had a shot on target and a shot off target. For me, that is one of the man of the match performances.
The height thing, yeah. I mean, he's not small. I think, like I said, I suppose for a centre back, like 6'1". Certainly, I think he makes him the smallest centre back we've got. But then, like you said, if you've got that spring as well, it doesn't necessarily matter because not all big guys have that much of a spring in it.
Yeah.
But it's his ability to read the game, and his passing out from the back is a big thing for us. And he's mobile. That I can't remember the amount of times last year when the only thing that really let us down was that you had Dawson and Creswell in your back 4, and it's just like if you don't target Dawson, like if Dawson's late in the box, laying his body in the line, he'll normally come out on top. If you're whipping balls in, Dawson will come out on top. But if you, like the 2 goals that scream out to me, coincidentally, the ones that Brozier scored. I think one Brozier scored against us, and the penalty he won against us as well, when he basically just got to the side of Dawson and just went, and Dawson just never could keep up with him because he's not that quick. Yeah. So that is going to be a big thing. The spring of his step is going to be needed as a little bit smaller of a centre back, but he said he's at Dobson. Yeah, people may remember Tim Cahill for Everton was tiny, but the amount of headed goals he scored, he has a phenomenal leap. And if you can time that with a bit of height, in the way we like to defend, trying to block out the wings and false crosses in, it's going to be a stat we need. And the fact that he's getting in the playing time and he's showing that he can, because that guy out front was a lump. That number, I don't know how tall he was, that number 11.
Yeah, big lad.
So to keep him from scoring a header, the centre-back's done well.
Ben Johnson, though, moved back into a position that he prefers, right wing back, away from the centre half, supporting West Ham down that right-hand side. He played full 90 minutes, 74 touches, 69% accurate passing, 2 key passes. He was successful in 50% of his crosses. He was successful in 50% of his long balls. He had 1 big chance created. He lost possession 20 times, but he did win the majority of his ground duels. He won all of his aerial duels as well. He made 4 clearances, 1 tackle. So that again was an all-round performance for him, and something that West Ham have been, talking about for such a long time, like relying heavily on getting Ben Johnson in the centre back, but actually putting him out in his position with his pace. Again, yes, I understand it's not the Premier League. I know it's not the higher level of competition, but it's the pace, and I think he does have that pace that can get him back up and down that park, which is what we're desperately crying out for, and we noticed over the first 3 Premier League games.
Dying pace, yeah. That was maybe one of the only bonuses of fact he played in the first 3 games that had that pace in defence. But like, you can't just switch on and off playing out as a fullback and then a centre back. Swapping between left back and right back, you can sort of do it because you're still like awareness, like all right, the touch line's there. So, but centre back you can drift, and he did drift a couple of times with playing centre back. But today he looked good. He looked like you could see that he is a centre back and we should be playing centre back. And I think the one cross he did put in, I think was the one that Cornet just couldn't quite get his boot on the end of. He sort of whipped it in, and Cornet was sort of full stretch, got a toe on it, and ended up tripping out the far side. But had that been an Antonio or Scamacca, that could have been another goal itself. It was a brilliant whipped-in ball. He didn't, intelligently, he got sort of pre-assist for the first goal because the ball was going out the far side. He kept it in, held his man up and rolled it back. So showing he can get quite far up the pitch, because generally what Creswell struggles with is that Creswell won't often commit that far up the pitch because he knows he's not going to get back again, whereas Johnson, like we said, with the pace and mobility, can get up and down that flank. And being naturally a better defender, he can always work on his attacking game, and today was a good day out for him to do that sort of thing, to make the overlaps across it.
Yeah.
So I liked him there. I thought more accomplished.
In answering this question then from Epic, what more does Areola have to do to earn a place in the starting 11? He's so much better than Fab.
You said me, like you saw me. I picked him first game of the season, so Areola start. He didn't start. Fabianski's reaction saving is normally pretty good. Still is pretty good. I'm not sure about the goal against Forest where he just fired the wrong way, but there was a lot of bodies in the way, so maybe he just gambled and went the wrong way. Brighton game, again, he didn't really do much wrong. I think that's old school Moyes.
Yeah.
With his loyalty to players. If you don't do anything wrong, I'm not going to drop you, which may be his downfall at times.
Yeah.
But I don't think Fabianski's distribution is the best at all. But Areola can't do anything more than he's doing.
Yeah. Vinny saying Sullivan should monitor Areola's situation, ask for an explanation from Moyes. Areola not good enough to start according to Moyes. Why? Ben Claxton is saying Kehrer and Ogbonna got to be starting lineup in Sunday. Ben Claxton, Zuma looks sluggish. It's not about being, I'm not trying to say that I'm right. I'm just trying to say that I've been calling it for such a long time. I've been always concerned last season when he was waddling with his knee. There's something not right with his knee. And it's been done for a while, but I don't know. I'm starting to kind of worry a little bit because he seems to be trooping on through. But it just depends on what performances we're going to get from Zuma, because last year, especially after the incident that happened, he came back out and he performed really, really well. He was one of our standout defenders, but he still looked like he had the same knee than what he's got now. But now he just looks a little bit more sluggish with it. So I just wonder if Moyes has seen that and is a little bit concerned about that, on top of the fact that Aguerd's picked up this injury. I mean, it's not been the greatest of starts in terms of West Ham's defence, considering Moyes said from day dot, I want to build our defence. We need to build our defence, and you're missing your main centre-half or your main centre-half's a bit sluggish, and Zuma, your new big signing, Aguerd, is injured. Ogbonna's coming back from a long-term injury. Dawson's nowhere really to be seen. And then, bang, you're back to square one again. You need to rely on some of the golden oldies to step up to the occasion. But I get that. Johnson over Safal as well from Ben. Matt is saying the knee issue is nothing to do with the cat thing. I wish people would move on from the cat incident. It happened. He got fined and the court's dealt with it now. It's boring. DJ News, he went for a quick kebab for anyone interested. There you go, Matt. There you go. Russie boy, good man. He's back. Nice to get through and have nails intact. Absolutely. Lequette reporting Paqueta deal close. It's going to happen. I agree. Areola, much better keeper. Johnson had a good game, much better the wing back or fullback. I mean, I've always been a Johnson fan. I really have. I'm not just saying that because of his performance tonight, but I rate him, and I think when he gets a good run of games in him, he really steps up to the occasion. And I love Safal, as you can see there. I love Safal. I think he's great. I think he brings a lot to West Ham, but there's no ifs or buts about it, mate. His pace has dropped a bit. He's dropped a little bit of pace, and he's a little bit slow in the uptake. And I think he's a great player to be in a squad, 100%, and probably a player that could play upwards of 25, 30 games for West Ham in a season. But if we're going to be playing now, we're now literally, this is confirmed Thursday, Sunday for the next 6. What is it? How many games is it? 8? No, 6 games, isn't it? 6 games.
6 games, yeah.
Yeah. It's mad, isn't it? Areola and Scamacca both need to start from Paul Evans. Morel is saying Kehrer looked better with Ogbonna. I just really like what I've saw from Kehrer. I can totally get over the penalty incident because he's new. I get that. And I actually think, apart from the penalty incident, he was our better defender in that game. And I do genuinely think he is more than capable of stepping up to the occasion. And I think I was watching something today, and I think he's best suited on the right-hand side of a back three with 2 wing backs as well. And that's where he really comes to the zone, and he's a ball-playing centre-half, which is what I like. Morel is saying, surely Scamacca has to start at Villa, otherwise what's the point? Martin Greary saying Paqueta's still on, according to Sky. Izzy, who's the man of the match? Good question. Well, I'll put that into the chat just now. Who was your man of the match for today's performance? Let us know. Kehrer can play central defensive midfielder. Ali is saying Scamacca and Benny look great duel. Oggy makes other defenders better. Yeah, I think he's like a fine wine, like a fine Italian wine. He's got better with age, and hopefully he comes back. And he was running at full pelt a couple of times, Matt, wasn't he?
He did, the fact I don't forget as well. He played 80 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, he played 60 minutes last week. He's got 80 minutes. He's probably legitimately not far away from playing a full 90. You know, and if we are playing midweek, weekend for the next God knows how many weeks, Ogbonna's probably going to get playing time. And if Zuma has a couple of shaky games and Ogbonna's playing really well, then Ogbonna here could end up being the starting centre backs.
Yeah. Right, for anyone watching, we're going to be going soon, but I'm going to give you your opportunity to come on and get 5 minutes. So I've put the link in the chat. All you need to do is click on that link, come on and have your say, but it literally does need to be 5 minutes, if that at all. So click that link just now if you want to come on, and if not, no one comes on, I'll just need to, we'll head, but we'll go through what everyone else is saying. So tomorrow, Matt, we're through to the next round. The group stages, the draw is tomorrow. 1:30, so we'll be doing a live show for that. So make sure you do keep your eye on the channel for that. What do you take as a whole from today's game?
Not a lot.
Oh, come on! There's but there is things to take from it.
It was a very much a preseason game, but important thing to me, well, Bonner got minutes, so I think he's still got a lot to offer. Johnson, we can see quite definitively is a lot. He is a fullback. He's not a centre back. He can maybe do a job covering if we're desperate, but no, he needs to play fullback if the option is there. Skamaka is starting to link up well with the players behind him. The formation seemed to work better, to be honest. Playing a flat 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Playing with a 3 up front and 3 across midfield. We didn't get out battled in the midfield as much as we had been, having a 3 there rather than a 2. So that was a big thing.
Fremer says Stato is not having it. He isn't, Fremer. He is not. Devin agrees with you. But listen, but wait, I want to come on because loads of people in the chat have gone Ben Rama. So let me give you Ben Rama's stats. 68 minutes, 1 goal, 1 shot on target. He made 100% successful dribbles in the game. He had 36 touches. He had a 100% accurate pass rate today. He had 1 key pass. He was successful with 50% of his crosses. He created 1 big chance. Ready for this? Is a really impressive stat, which I really like as well. He was successful in 4 from his 5 attempts at ground duels. So that's good to see that he's getting stuck in as well. He only lost possession 5 times today as well. So he got stuck in the game and got his goal and got his deserved goal as well.
He's probably been the best player at the start of the season, Ben Rama. Started well last season as well, don't forget, and then more started flip-flopping. He's probably out of, say, if we're going for a 4-3-3 in wingers, or we're going for the 4-2-3-1 and those 3 behind the centre forwards, he's probably the only guaranteed starter right now. And I include Bowen in that.
Yeah.
Bowen's been a bit off form. Maybe he's still a bit leggy from the summer. But Ben Rama's the one that's really, considering he was the one that was out the door.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be next, potentially on the chopping block after Vlasik. He's the one that stepped up. And he's having a very, very good time. And it was a brilliantly taken goal as well.
Yeah, definitely. Matt, can we go the whole way in the Europa Conference League?
Absolutely. That's what I was saying at the end of last season. That's why I don't mind having dropped down one competition this year, because I think it's a very, very, yes, there's some big names in it, but we knocked out Lyon and Seville on the run last year. We beat teams that are in the qualifiers in our group stages quite comfortably last year. They could, all right, yes, in the later stages, like when we get to the sort of quarterfinals, last 16 stages, there may be teams that drop out of the Europa League. But we've got to be up there in the top 3 or 4 for the favourites for the tournament, and the group stage hasn't even been drawn. I absolutely, at this moment, believe we could go all the way. Twist and turn to come, but it's a very, very attainable trophy.
Yeah. I'm actually just trying to get the teams that will be performing and will go into the draw tomorrow, just to let everyone know. I don't have it. I thought I would be able to get it for you, but I don't have it yet. So We'll just make sure you do join the channel tomorrow for a live preview of the a live draw for the Europa Conference League, which we're through to. No one's jumping on. So, Matt, final words, mate. Final words. Try and make them positive.
Don't believe everything you read on Sky, because everyone's reporting different stuff. Nothing's done. Nothing's off. Everything's still going on. Important players got time needed. Important players got match fitness. Players that needed goals and assists got them. First clean sheet of the season. The only way's up. The only way is up.
Absolutely. Tomorrow we will have a not Matchday Live. I'm away with the phase here. A West Ham Daily. We'll have the Hammers headlines and we'll have the show, which will be giving you the live draw tomorrow as well, around 1:30. And then join us on Saturday for the preview. We'll do the preview on Saturday evening. We'll let you know what time that's going out at. We trialed 7 p.m. last week, so I'll speak to Matt after and see what we can do this week as well. So, yeah, just keep positive, stay safe, and keep backing West Ham. And fingers crossed we get a couple of more signings over the line. And do you know what, Fremer? I'll answer this question right now. Would I take winning the Conference League and finishing 10th in the Premier League? Yes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because, Fremer, for me, that's progression. It's progression. We've done a tournament and we've won it. And we've still remained reasonably competitive in the Premier League.
And winning it will put us back in Europa League anyway.
Yes. Absolutely. So, yes, I would take that now.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you are interested, please hit that membership option. We have got live, we do draws, you can win prizes, etc. as well. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button. We're on the march towards 20,000 subscribers. Hit that bell notification. That will then notify you when our shows do go live. But we are through to the Europa Conference League group stages. Great performance from Scamacca today in the playoff game. He's got to start, in my opinion, against Villa. There is no ifs or buts about it. Scamacca has to start. I even would go as far as saying Cornet has to start, and just a couple of changes as well. I think what one benefit, Matt, I'll say about Cornet is he brings West Ham forward more.
His pace.
But he brings West Ham forward. He pushes us forward.
Because he's got, like we said earlier, he's got that pace to get back if he needs to. But it's genuine scary pace. It's the sort of pace where players don't want to get caught out, because if the fullback gets too high and gets beyond Cornet and we nick it and put it in behind him, he's not catching him again. And just that sort of thing gets in a defender. But we know we can't push the line too high. Yeah. It's not Fornals. Benny's not slow, but he's not the quickest. Fornals isn't anywhere near quick. Fornals is just a standard pacey centre mid.
Yeah.
So on that left hand side before now, we've not had anyone to give that direct, penetrative, aggressive pace front of a run. And him now being there, it transitions the whole style of play.
Yeah, it does. It
is a key player for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, listen, stay safe, everyone. See you tomorrow. And the last words we say is, come on, you Irons. Take it easy.
It's like a family tree, part of you